Monsieur le maire, j'ai reçu une question par écrit. I received one written question earlier today. C'est de Marc Pelletier. Monsieur Pelletier demande qu'est-ce que votre investigation de la dénaturalisation des arbres sur l'île à Trestle Cove révèle à ce jour? Et deuxième question, est-ce qu'il y a des mesures en voie de considération à mettre en place pour diminuer les empiètements successifs tout le long du sentier, le terrain de la ville, depuis 10 ans par les riverains de notre beau sentier?
Pour la première question, la réponse est qu'il suit toujours son cours, puis on verra la suite des choses avec ça. So the dossier is following its course, and we'll have to wait and see how it proceeds. The second question, la deuxième question, des mesures en voie de considération. Oui, M. Calcaro. Voulez-vous répondre à celle-là, la deuxième question?
Mais justement, nous avons un plan avec le service de l'urbanisme de centraliser les riverains du sentier entre la rue Victoria jusqu'à Arvell pour qu'on peut constater où exactement est l'emprise de la ville et le cas échéant traiter les empiètements si ça existe avec les gens. Souvent, ce n'est pas clair parce que le sentier change de largeur le long de ce tronçon. Alors, ce n'est pas toujours évident où exactement est l'emprise de la ville. Just to repeat briefly, it's not always easy along the path to know where the town land is because it changes widths several times between Victoria and Argyle. But we're going to get in contact with each one of the neighboring people to make it clear where our land ends and theirs begins, and if there are things that are on the town land, to try to deal with that.
Merci. Maintenant, les questions.
Okay. Yes, good evening. Stuart Bacon from Victoria Street. I have two questions regarding safety. The first has to do with bicycling on Victoria. I don't know if you've ever been there on a weekend, but it's a madhouse. There are people who used to bicycle here and know that there were two lanes on the right-hand side, or on the north side, two directions. There are people who've never biked here before that come in droves biking on the same side as the cars. So you've got bikes coming down both sides of the street. When they get to Maple, they don't know what to do. Someone's going to get killed. So Patrick, that's your dossier. I would like to see some action on it.
Yes, Mr. Bacon, but first of all, as you know, we've put the sidewalks in now to the end of Victoria. They're doing the repaving now. That is going to change. There will be bicycles following traffic like it's supposed to be in both directions. When it gets to, I guess it'd be from starting at Center Street, didn't we, Mr. Rao, have somebody that did a plan?
Did a plan?
We asked them to do a certain study on the mobility for this.
It was done several years ago, but the plan for this year is to, like you said, finish the sidewalks on Victoria and do the proper lineage on Victoria. And it's from what we've heard today, because we know that there's a lot of issues there. It's going to be done after the construction vacation, so after this August, the lines will be done properly on each side.
If you were to ask me from center to Lakeside, I would say to put take the space that's on the left, divide it to be on the right, and move the center of the road over a bit. So bikes will keep going in the same direction all the way to Lakeside. But in the meantime, that's gonna create less parking, because up by LaPage and by your place where they park in the front, there could be no parking there at all. So, Patrick,
That's fine.
you want to add something?
I'm just worried that someone is going to get killed on their bike because there's traffic, there's bikes going in all different directions.
I understand that.
I want to add something to this. I have looked at the people that I do biking quite a bit. I would say that at least 80% of the people are starting to take the proper side, on each side of Chemin Victoria. They have to still do the bridge. There's a bridge that's going to be built in there. So they're waiting to have all that sorted out, so we put the lines on the right side in that way. Le comité de circulation is going to do a post-season situation about bicycling. There's more than one issue about bicycling, and what is probably more dangerous is the speed differences that there is between somebody that has a motor and a bicycle and the one that doesn't. And when you go from Lakeside all the way up to Foster, there is quite a bit of traffic now. So we'll have to sort that out at one day, at one point. We're going to look at Vélo Québec and other situations where they have these same problems about the increasing number of electrical bikes, which makes some people go up to 25, 30 clicks an hour, and it's becoming an issue. When we do the
Well, Patrick, just so you know.
But listen to me. When we do the committee, I will ask the same question. Is there much more accidents in bicycles than before? It's not always the case. And it's not on the path that there has been more bicycle accidents. So I just want to make things clear. We look at that each time with the first responders when we get together. They're late in doing certain things, but the intentions are to sort that out.
Who's late?
The public works.
Isn't that your responsibility?
Am I in charge of public works?
As part of the town government.
Councillor.
Okay, I won't press this
But
anymore.
Stuart, Mr. Bacon, I understand your problem. I see it on the weekend.
It's not my problem.
No, I understand what the problem that you brought to the pulpit. And consequently, I'm in agreement with you. It's very dangerous. It's dangerous when you pull out of Lansdowne because
also.
You don't expect the bike to be coming towards you when you want to turn towards.
And there's trees in the way there.
There's trees too that are on, I believe, are on town land. And we've already advised Public Works, and we're looking at that too. But I understand what you brought to the table.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I want to add something to that.
Put your mic down to the
À un moment donné, on peut mettre des pancartes qui indiquent l'intersection de voitures, de piétons et de vélos. Il existe des pancartes à ce niveau-là. Ça doit être commandé, on a identifié certaines pancartes qui existent pour clarifier les choses là. Il y a plus qu'un danger pour les vélos, et il y en a plusieurs. Et on va avoir de plus en plus de vélos, mais ce que j'ai de la difficulté à comprendre de vos questions, c'est que vous insistez sur une situation où il y a moins de danger qu'à d'autres endroits. Ça, c'est personnel comme question.
Ah, c'est possible, mais moi j'habite là. Donc. Deuxième question, si vous me permettez.
Yes, oui.
Encore une fois sur la sécurité. The other day I watched, I'll say, an old couple who were walking along Knowlton Road towards Maple. And they got to the end of the sidewalk, which, as you all know, is well before Maple. Mm-hmm. They were totally perplexed, but they sort of side-shuffled along. Can we do something about that?
Well, that is MTQ land.
I know.
And the other problem is that when we were looking at when we do the sewer and water in the near future, from the middle of town all the way up to, I would say it's around Veteran Street in front of the Catholic Church, then we're going to, the guardrails will be moved and it will be strengthened more. But the only way that the Minister of Transport could solve the temporary problem was to put the guardrails there, because before it was a stone wall and it was caving in. So when we do the sewer and water, we will solidify what's there and make it better, and then continue the sidewalk down to Maple.
Yeah, I would say even a well-marked crosswalk to get people to the other side would be a good idea.
That, again, is the Minister of Transport. They refused the crosswalk at Maple and in front of, right at the stop, to cross from Knowlton Road over, and they refused us there because they said they're not going to put a stop sign on Knowlton Road, so they're not gonna put a stop sign, a crosswalk there.
Okay?
Dealing with the MTQ is also difficult. And I mean, we put crosswalks in at strategic points, and we took a lot. And their criteria is not, and the thinking is not the same as what we have.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
We,
On Northern Road, there's more than one problem. There's also in front of the school, there's a lot of people that are worried about what's happening in front of the school, the speeds that are there. We're gonna have a special meeting before the end of the month to maybe ask certain installations of certain interventions that would slow down people there, like in Bolton Center. Je vais dire en anglais, en français, il y a des gens qui s'inquiètent à l'école française de la vitesse que les gens font dans ce coin-là. Quelqu'un nous avait dit la dernière fois qu'il y a des installations à Bolton Centre avec des lignes plus épaisses sur la rue pour ralentir les gens. On a été voir ce qui est à Bolton Centre. On veut préparer une résolution pour le prochain conseil sur différentes choses qui pourraient se faire sur le chemin Knowlton, particulièrement près des écoles, et d'agrandir peut-être la zone scolaire. Ça arrivera au mois d'août. Et je vais attendre le retour de Robert Daniel pour ses vacances. Alors ça, c'est une petite information additionnelle parce que ils ont parlé de ça sur Bolton.com. So it's a concern for us.
Okay, it's Ron Glow, Fisher's Point. Some positive news. We had a very good meeting. Several of us residents with the town, with the works and the engineering group. It looks like we're finally going to get some progress on improving the road at Fisher's Point. However, they came in shortly after the meeting. They did grade the road. However, they weren't able to compact, and the sad news, the potholes are back. But they said if they came in next time, they would come in and grade and then try and come with the compactor. So it's just to announce we're ready whenever they're ready to come in and move on to this next phase. But the big thing now is getting the survey started later this year, and maybe trying to get some drainage put in, and that may be the long-term solution for us. So,
but it was brought up also, we are using the red gravel.
Oh yes, no, that's clarified down too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But we need
to confirm that.
But the big thing is that they got to come in. You did a good job grading it, but they weren't even going to compact it. As soon as the rain came, the potholes are all back.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Mr. Globe.
Thank you. It's okay.
Hi, Alan Easley, Nelson. Wanted to follow up a question on Mark Peltier's question about the trees. On Trestle Island, whose land is Trestle Island?
The town.
The town.
The town.
Yes.
Yes.
So there was quite a haircut given to about 50 trees, which must have been,
More than that. 97.
97,
Oh,
okay?
97?
Yeah.
So that's on town land. So if you go around destroying municipal property, what's the penalty?
As we're saying, it's following its course, it'll probably go farther and farther and farther.
Because,
I can't get into detail because there's lawyers involved.
okay, I raise it because I just want to see it $1,000 because of its one tree, because all the trees at the other end of the path closer to Argyle, several years ago, they were also given a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been given a haircut in the last little while, I agree, but certainly 2 or 3 years ago they were. But this one on Trestle Island is really
The good thing
severe.
about a haircut is usually it stimulates growth, and after they're not allowed to do it anymore, then the trees grow out a lot thicker, so.
Well, I can assure you one thing, it does not stimulate growth.
I was waiting for that one.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. But
Sorry, we're the haircuts now, but anyway.
Good evening. My name is Audrey Laferrière. I'm a concerned parent. I hear the committee brought up the issue in front of the school. So I'm here as a representative to ask more questions about that. Je suis partie de l'OPP, Institut Conseil d'établissement. Il y a d'autres parents aussi qui sont ici, qui sont des parents d'élèves à l'école. Et donc, on voulait savoir, je comprends que vous avez dit que vous allez avoir plus d'informations, une session au mois d'août, mais je voulais savoir quelles mesures, vous regardez quelles mesures mettre en place pour ralentir la vitesse devant l'école, car le maximum n'est pas respecté à 30. On a vu la SQ qui vient, mais c'est une mesure très temporaire là, dans le moment qu'ils sont là. Je suis allée fouiller un peu dans les documents qui sont en ligne là, sur les zones scolaires. Je me demandais si vous avez vu le document sur la création de corridors scolaires qui pourrait être intéressant, et puis aussi de changer les panneaux de place. Je comprends que le panneau commence où l'église est, tandis que les autobus passent là, et les parents aussi qui passent à la fin de la journée récupérer les enfants. Et puis, la limite devrait commencer, en fait, la limite pour décélérer devrait commencer plus loin que l'école, plus loin que l'église, où c'est un territoire annexe à l'école, qui est utilisé par l'école. Donc, ma question, c'est de savoir si, en fait, je voulais savoir quelles mesures vous regardez pour mettre en place pour réduire la vitesse devant l'école.
Gérard?
Oui, je vais regarder, j'ai pris note du document que vous avez parlé. Mme Chiara qui avait dit des interventions de ce qui existe à Bolton-Ouest, où il y a des marquages dans la rue.
Oui.
Ça aussi, on Bolton Centre. Excusez-moi. Bolton Centre, qui sont un peu effacés. C'est pas ce qu'il y a de mieux, mais ils sont là quand même. Ils en ont mis une avant et une après. L'autre question aussi, c'est que la zone de 50 ans n'est pas respectée jusqu'à la fin. Et dans certaines zones, c'était une préoccupation importante du comité que toutes ces zones-là soient identifiées et traitées également. Il nous manque de bollards pour mettre. On n'a pas toujours le droit d'en mettre sur les livres qui appartiennent à la MTQ. Et des fois, on fait illégalement, puis ils nous appellent, puis ils disent enlevez-le. Il y aura aussi des traverses. On va regarder toutes les choses qu'on peut faire pour faire en sorte que les gens se rendent compte que c'est une zone où il faut faire attention. Puis sur le chemin d'automne, tout le monde sait qu'il y a de plus en plus de trafic et c'est vraiment un problème de fond. On va même regarder si on pourrait avoir un radar, ce qui est peu probable. On va quand même regarder, il y a des consultations qui se font. Peut-être au mois d'août, on va demander aux gens d'écrire à leurs députés pour dire que le chemin d'automne, c'est vraiment un cas particulier. On n'a pas de place pour faire une voie de contournement. C'est sûr que les vélos peuvent aller sur le chemin Victoria, chacun de leur côté, mais sur le chemin d'automne, on a un gros problème. Les camions, le trafic, l'ouverture de l'usine, les gens qui sont en retard pour aller travailler, la police fait des interventions. Et entre parenthèses, si les gens savent qu'il y a une voiture en particulier qui est vraiment délinquante, prenez note et vont organiser une opération. Mais c'est vraiment, à la prochaine rencontre du comité de circulation, c'est notre priorité numéro 1.
OK.
Should I say that in English?
Well, it was clear to me as well. I'm also hoping you realize that we're trying to encourage more movement at our school and walking. And as another citizen pointed out, it's very hard due to the sidewalk to get to the village from Saint-Édouard. They have to cross Chemin Knowlton twice without any crosswalks. It's extremely dangerous and discouraging to the staff at the school, and it goes against promoting healthy lifestyle. And so I hope you take that into consideration as well.
At the Public Security Committee of the MRC, we discussed that, and the presence of the Sûreté du Québec in the mornings from 7:30 to like 8:30, 8:45 has probably increased 20 times more than they ever were before, in years before. Mais c'est encore problématique. Oui, j'ai vu les enfants qui prennent une marche chaque matin. They come in our development because they cross Chemin Knowlton. And then, of course, il faut qu'ils retournent à l'école, ils traversent encore. Moi, je suis toujours peur aussi pour les enfants, honnêtement, parce que, oui, ça peut être la vitesse avec les véhicules, mais ça peut être aussi la distraction avec le cellulaire, un chauffeur, un conducteur qui, you know, and there's a lot of things that can happen in a zone scolaire. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And it, like, in the document that I referred to, and I'm happy to send you the link to it,
yes,
there's really interesting information on the risk of, actually the type of collision that happens at 30 kilometers an hour versus 50 kilometers an hour.
yeah,
The time to brake is double, so it goes from
That's
37 to 70, as well as a fatal accident is up to 50% at 50 kilometers an hour and only 10 at 30. So there's a lot of reasons why we should promote this. And other than bringing in the MTQ, I think campaigns could be done to increase awareness. In Bromo, they have a lot of things around the streets, like decals of children stuck on recycling bins. And I tell you, it's startling. I stop every time. I drive through Bromo frequently, and it surprises you every time. It's very effective.
it draws your attention to
It sure does, and it's something that the MTQ doesn't have to be involved in, but that the town can do to help increase awareness.
That's right.
Est-ce que vous avez déjà, avec les parents de l'école, envisagé la présence d'un brigadier le matin?
Non, c'est une bonne question et je rapportais ça au conseil d'établissement. Mais le problème de staff est quand même élevé aussi à l'école, les coûts aussi élevés pour le staff, et on vient de recevoir une nouvelle des coupures de gouvernement du ministère de l'Éducation qui va... On ne peut pas rajouter du personnel d'école.
Anyway, ça c'est une chose que la ville peut garder aussi. On verra.
Je pense que ça serait très intéressant.
Yeah, we will. But and concerning your braking and that, I'm an ex-police officer, so we studied in reconstruction of accidents. Every time you increase 10 kilometers an hour, you also...
It's striking, as well as the champ de vision, like how wide you see it. You get tunnel vision the faster you drive, and so you don't see necessarily little kids walking by. And
anyway, for all the people that came here concerning that, we are very aware of it, and
Merci pour la question.
What Mr. Rad had something.
Juste pour clarifier aussi, il y a peut-être 3 ans, avec l'école, on avait regardé pour embaucher un brigadier, une brigadière. Et la ville était prête à payer pour brigadier, brigadière, et il n'y a personne qui a appliqué. Alors, comme il y a beaucoup de monde ce soir, M. Bacon, M. Claude, on cherche des brigadiers. Non, mais c'est vrai. Donc,
But Mr. Rad, don't forget, after November.
Oh, yeah! We have someone
well, there will be a brigadier. Thank you, sir. So perfect.
you'll have a short commute. Merci beaucoup.
Oui, bonsoir, Alicia Southall de Norton. Ma question porte sur le travail qui a été effectué par Envisageons Plus d'Hydro-Québec. Il y a une présentation qui a été faite au public le 6 juin à l'hôtel de ville à Sutton. Et j'aimerais savoir d'abord, est-ce que la ville a formulé une opinion concernant leur proposition qui me semble, bon, d'abord, ça représente un travail très sérieux. Et deuxièmement, si Hydro acceptait ce qu'ils proposent, ça éviterait entièrement la construction de quelconque station à West-Brome. Et deuxièmement, ils disent qu'il n'y aurait donc pas de nouveau corridor ni de ligne surdimensionnée à Lac-Brome, à Brome et à Sutton aussi. Donc, qu'est-ce que la ville a conclu ou quelles impressions avez-vous du travail qui a été effectué à date par Envisageons Plus d'Hydro-Québec?
Maintenant, Hydro-Québec étudie toujours le 69 carrés. Il n'y a aucune donnée, aucune de réponse à date. Il va bientôt, dans la prochaine semaine, il va y avoir un meeting à Bromont avec les maires et les villes impliquées. C'est pas pour le public, c'est pour les élus. Alors, là, ça va t'expliquer comment Hydro accepte ou non, pourquoi, et oui, yes ou non. Alors, j'ai aucune réponse à donner pour ça.
Pour l'instant, parce que et la présentation va avoir lieu pour les élus. Est-ce que c'est une présentation de la part d'Envisageons Plus d'Hydro-Québec ou c'est une présentation de la part d'Hydro-Québec?
C'est une présentation de
Hydro.
C'est une rencontre avec Hydro-Québec parce qu'ils ont, durant 7 ans, ils ont étudié le projet de M. Benoit, puis ses collègues, puis le meeting à Bromont. Après ça, on va avoir des réponses.
So Hydro is going to be announcing at that meeting whether they are accepting this counter proposal or not?
They're going to say they accept it or not. They're going to say the constraints, why you can do it, why we can't do it, why some part is good, some part is not good. We'll find out exactly what they say. I don't know what they're going to say.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
I never want to assume.
No, absolutely not. That's very prudent.
Yes.
But certainly, it would, as I said, it would spare West Brome some of what Hydro is contemplating. It would spare them entirely.
Well, West Brome the line wasn't for the corridor to go through West Brome.
No, but it was the substation, right?
The
Which is
substation
enormous.
would be on the outskirts of West Brome, but on the 139 in the section of Sutton.
Yeah.
Not in Lac-Brome.
No. And are you aware of the details of what they are proposing for the they mentioned a possible enlargement of the little station that there is behind Sapin. Okay, well, the former Sapin, I should say. Are you aware of what the detail is on that? I mean,
That is a presentation of Robert Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
De agrandissement à Cowanville, à Sutton, à Knowlton, puis
That's
aussi
right.
à South Stukely.
That's right, yeah.
So, yes, I'm aware of it, but that's his proposal, and
Okay.
that is what Hydro-Quebec is going to come back with, the answers to what he requested in his project, in
Okay,
his proposal.
so the town's position is they're waiting to see
Yeah,
how the
yeah.
discussion evolves further. All right, thank you. And hopefully at that point, you'll be in a position to share that with us at a future meeting.
Oh, certainly. Oh,
Because I'm
certainly.
sure many people are watching that with
Yeah.
concern, and some people actually with anxiety. Another brief second question, if you'll be kind enough to permit me to ask it.
Yes.
Concerning the correspondence that you referenced earlier about I have to confess, I wasn't quite clear on what the specifics were about the fire station, the grant, possible grant for a fire station. And then there was a mention of 2027, 2028. Can you just sort of recap what that was, or can the person who had the correspondence recap that?
The letter stated that we are still in the list of the pre-selected
Right.
towns to have this grant for a fire station. But it is put off to 2027 to 2028. So one of those 2 years, we will be able to go out for tenders, or we could do the appels d'offres now, but we're only in 2025. So 3 years, we never know what, got another COVID, expenses rise,
Heaven forbid,
anything can
yes.
happen, we never know,
Yeah.
we never know, you know? So, and so that means we will not be building it until then.
Okay, so what the government is saying is that there's no chance that the money would be awarded before 2027 or 2028,
There
correct?
you got it.
Okay, is there an amount associated with that?
It's a certain percentage of 6 million, I would say, plus or minus 4 million.
Okay, thank you.
Plus or minus.
Plus or minus, okay.
Because the percentage could change from 2025, just like everything else, to 2027 or 2028.
And what does that delay, what impact does that have, if any, on the expropriation proceedings which were currently underway with the property?
Doesn't change anything.
So the town is still proceeding with that
Sure,
expropriation?
certainly, for sure.
All right. Are there any anticipated costs with that?
We're running out of time
All
for
right.
the first period of questions,
Okay.
and get a man behind you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. You're gonna have to.
No, I'm okay. Can you hear me? Yeah.
You okay?
My name's Ken. Can I raise it? Yeah. Okay, of course. My name's Ken Hammersmith. I live on Mularkey Street.
Malarkey here, yes, and yes.
Yeah, just
At
and
the apartments there?
yeah,
Yes.
I'm in one of the 2 apartments there. And what I don't understand is, I hear that's a private road.
That is correct.
Why on earth would that be a private road?
Well, it's a private road because it's never been, first of all, offered to the town. Is it up to our norms? No, the owner has not requested anything, so it stays private.
Okay.
Because before the town would accept the road, it has to be, the public works would have to have the engineering done to make sure the road is built properly. If it's not, then the owner at his expense would have to put it up to par, and then after. But right now, there is no request to transfer it to town land.
And, well, I bet you the owner doesn't even use that road, right?
No, he doesn't, but he owns it.
Yeah, it doesn't make, it makes no sense,
And
right?
the potholes.
It makes no sense.
I know.
It makes no sense. So, and he's not responsible for the upkeep of the road then?
Yes, he is. Oh, certainly.
Well, nobody's after him for that then, for
Well,
sure.
then it has to be the tenants to get together and write him a letter and say, look,
Write him a letter.
yes.
We don't, I don't, who's the owner? I have no
Oh,
idea.
we can tell you well, you can find out through the GoNet, Lac-Brome GoNet, or you can come to town of Brome Lake at the receptionist and get the information, because it's public information who owns it.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay,
I
thank you.
can tell you, I can transfer the information to you if you want to know without it coming to town hall, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Bonsoir, mon nom est Pierre Lessard, j'habite sur Tibbetts Hill. Et comme je marche souvent sur le chemin, j'ai remarqué qu'il y avait un avis public pour démolition de 2 granges chez M. Paty, le nouveau développement. Et j'avais remarqué la date, j'avais noté la date, c'était supposé être ce soir, la réunion. On nous invitait à venir participer. Puis quand je suis allé voir sur le site de la ville, la date a changé, puis j'ai noté que c'était vendredi dernier qu'a eu lieu la réunion. C'est ça? Ou jeudi dernier?
Oui.
Moi, je peux expliquer, monsieur, désolé pour l'inconvénient. Au début, c'était prévu pour ce soir, à 18h30, avant la réunion.
Voilà.
Pour une raison technique, nous avons reporté ça dans un premier temps au mois prochain, le 4 août, avant la réunion du Conseil du 4 août. Mais finalement, nous avons décidé de tenir la réunion le 21 juillet à 18h ici. Il y aura un avis public dans ce sens-là qui sera publié le matin. Et ça va changer sur la pancarte et sur le site web.
Ah, OK. Donc, ça n'a pas encore eu lieu.
Oui, mais ce que vous avez vu récemment, la date prévue, c'était le 4 août. Ça, c'est la deuxième date qui a été choisie.
Ah, moi j'avais vu 4 juillet, donc c'est mon erreur. OK, parfait.
Mais ça ne lance pas trop tard si vous êtes intéressé à ça. Et d'ailleurs, ça dit sur l'avis,
oui.
contactez comme réfléchi si vous avez
Oui,
des questions.
tout à fait,
vous
tout à
allez
fait.
avec si vous avez des questions. On parle des 2 branches qui sont là à côté de la pancarte.
Oui, OK.
Mais oui, ce sera le 21 juillet, ici même, quand
Parfait.
on dans les activités à 18h.
Excellent. Comme je suis là, je voulais aussi parler de la circulation sur Tibbetts Hill, qui est souvent une piste de course aux heures de fin de journée, là, vers 3 ou 4 heures. Et je me demandais s'il y avait possibilité d'avoir des radars ou au moins une surveillance de policière accrue, parce que c'est vraiment dangereux. Nous, on marche beaucoup sur le chemin, puis il y a vraiment des camions en particulier, puis des pick-up qui accélèrent quand ils passent à côté de nous.
À quel niveau sur Tibbetts Hill?
Tout le long. Nous,
Tout le long?
Ben, c'est vraiment, oui.
C'est un raccourci, Tibbetts Hill.
OK.
Donc, c'est très... on sort quand on veut sortir de notre allée charretière pour prendre la route, on a des véhicules qui dépassent. Nous, on se promène avec un chien aussi, donc c'est très, très, très dangereux. Puis je ne vois jamais de force policière pour... Donc, si c'était possible d'avoir une surveillance accrue.
OK, c'est noté, monsieur.
Merci.